Hi, this next part of my series is regarding team conflict. So this is actually after the team has developed and the team starts to have conflict. This first video is actually over the Thomas-Kilmann instrument model. Let me give you the information for that one. I accidentally had it on the ground. This is it. It's the Thomas-Kilmann conflict mode instrument, and I absolutely, or I guess the Thomas-Kilmann instrument conflict mode, I absolutely love it. We all have a tendency to prefer a different conflict type when it arises. So when we get into disagreements, we kind of have our tendency toward a particular preference of a mode. So I'll go over the 5 different kinds. There are strengths and benefits to each one, and there's actually weaknesses to it as well. So we'll kind of go through it, and then I'm actually going to show you a diagram that sums it up in detail because I have not found a better reference for this. I tried to create my own little design and it didn't actually work, so I'm just going to show you the document to kind of further explain it. So initially, and I'll do that to start so you kind of understand where I'm headed. The 5 conflict handling modes, the 5 of them are
collaborating, competing, compromising, avoiding, accommodating.
These particular conflict modes all have, like I said, strengths and weaknesses, but this is kind of the spectrum that they fall on. You can see that I am more in the collaborating mode after I did my summary. The competing mode shows high assertiveness and low cooperating. The collaborating mode shows high assertiveness and high cooperating. The compromising mode is right in the middle. The avoiding mode is low in the assertive realm and low in the cooperative realm. And the accommodating mode is low in the assertive area, but high in the cooperating realm. So I actually really like this mode because if you understand when you're in conflict with somebody what their preferences are, you can actually use that to, I guess, flex how you're going to approach that person if you understand their style and what their preferences are. So it does make that conflict resolution a little bit easier if you understand their preferences. So let's talk a little bit about what competing is. So like I said, it was high in the assertive realm, but low in the cooperating realm. This is about the person that goes after his or her own purposes or resolution. They kind of have what they want in mind, and that's just what they want to do. So they're very assertive, but they don't like to necessarily cooperate with the team. This actually sounds bad, but there's actually a lot of good things about it. Somebody that's more competing does tend to get stuff done, and they get stuff done well because they know exactly what they want. So leaders that tend to be in that realm are very good at just letting the team know where they're headed. So very good at decisiveness. So it can be used, and there's different areas that this actually would be implemented where it can be a really good, useful tool. The next stage, the one that I fell into, is the collaborating realm. So this is where you work to find, you work with others to find a solution. So this one actually is very time consuming, but it's high in the assertive realm and high in the cooperative realm. You work together, you guys come up with a project resolution together. It's kind of balancing everyone's ideas. I absolutely love it. Now this kind of makes sense to me why I fell in this realm. It's my philosophy and how I practice medicine. It's my philosophy and how I parent my children. I work toward the collaborating realm because the theory is that if you're all on the same page, that everybody's going to be on board and you're going to be able to achieve the goals together. So I lean toward this, and like I said, it does make sense why I fell in this realm. But like I said, the downside is that it's very time consuming to get to conflict resolution if you're a collaborating type. So there are times when this mode is not appropriate. If we have a quick task to complete, this one might not be okay. We might need to use a different conflict mode to actually get some resolution quickly. So yeah. Explains that one. So compromising, being a compromising conflict mode type, is somewhere in the middle. middle of assertiveness, middle of cooperativeness, or cooperating with others. It actually tries to find a mutually acceptable solution. So it takes a little bit of someone's ideas and a little bit of someone else's ideas and kind of meets in the middle. So it's a way to balance both ideas, a little bit faster at project resolution or conflict resolution than the collaborating mode. So it does tend to be a little bit more useful, but it doesn't fully all encompass, get everybody on board. So it's not as thorough as the collaborating mode would be, but it does kind of work. It's a little bit faster to implement. The avoiding conflict mode is the next one. So this one's low in assertiveness and low in the cooperating realm. Interestingly enough, this was one of my next highest scores. And I don't understand why I had fallen there, besides the fact that the questions on the questionnaire kind of led me toward that. It said that you just don't address conflict. I don't like conflict. I'm somebody that just likes to kind of go with the flow. The only part of this that I didn't agree with was the low cooperating, or not being cooperative with other people. I love project resolution. That's my judgment type of my MBTI type that I talked about earlier. So that part didn't really quite fit. But I don't address conflict. So I think that's where that avoiding type came up so strong. But because of the low assertiveness and the low cooperating, they just kind of don't talk about things. They don't want project resolution. They kind of avoid the conflict. They don't care if there's no resolution and the task isn't being completed because of it. They just kind of avoid the situation altogether. So very difficult to do. If you've got somebody on your team that's kind of avoiding the situation altogether, it's kind of difficult to bring them out, but kind of understanding why they're in that avoiding mode might actually be able to help you bring them out of that particular fight or flight mode per se. The last conflict handling mode is the accommodating type. This one's low in the assertive and very high in the cooperative realm. This basically is when you neglect your own needs for the common good. So you're trying to make everybody happy, you're trying to satisfy other people, you're trying to go along with the boat, and you don't really speak up. You don't really care if it's what you wanted or not. You just want everybody else to be happy, so you're willing to go with it. This one can be good for a lot of reasons, but it can also have its downside. If you're always in that accommodating conflict mode style, you may feel like you're never heard. You may feel like your ideas don't matter to the team. So it's good to be there occasionally, but not all the time. So these are the 5 conflict handling modes. I absolutely love this. You can use it for your own personal development. You can use it to know what area you have a tendency to flex into, and then you can actually use it to understand what situation is occurring, which one you have a tendency toward, and whether or not that right now is going to be appropriate for that particular situation. You can also use it to understand other people's tendencies. So as I said in the knowing and growing others, if you know their conflict mode, you can use it to be able to approach them properly. You can use it to be able to pull them out of that mode style and out of that fear or flight realm that they're in when they approach conflict, and grow them and pull them out of it so you guys can come to project resolution. So I absolutely love this tool. I think it's great. Should definitely consider it. So again, the Thomas-Kilmann instrument conflict mode. Look it up. Thanks, guys.